fly tyers, and welcome to another episode of Aaron at the Fly Desk. You can see my hooks in my last few videos keep getting farther and farther down in these jaws. This is a Griffin mongoose vise. I've used Griffin vices for a long time. Never had a problem. For some reason these jaws flared, and I'd like to give a shout out to Griffin. They have been awesome. I called a friend up in Montana who he's a wholesaler of Griffin vices, and he said that's why we love Griffin vices, is if there's a problem they drop everything and send you new jaws or whatever they need to. And so I called Griffin yesterday and no questions asked. They apologized and they got me a new set of jaws coming out for this. But we're improvising right now and we'll be just fine. I've got a couple other vices, but I just haven't taken the time to set them up, so we'll be just fine with this vise for now. So today I'm going to show you how to use these little gummy eggs. These are from Rivers Wild. There's also one called Otter's Soft Eggs, pretty much the same product. And what they are is they're a synthetic. Let's pull it out here. They're a synthetic, kind of a gummy, really hard gummy, strong gummy material that you put on a hook for an egg. You got to be a little careful because some waters, they're illegal. They truly do imitate an egg probably better than anything. And so I'm going to show you today. We actually use these on some of the waters that allow bait fishing, and in the spring right at ice off there's actually some really big fish in some of these waters, and so the big fish are keying in on eggs, and so a lot of times we'll get in there and fish with these gummy eggs. And I look at them kind of like a foam grasshopper. I mean, it's funner to tie a grasshopper with all natural deer and elk hair, and you know, I remember I used to tie my hoppers with the piece of pheasant tail, and I'd take a clump of this off, tie it in a knot, and it would make these awesome legs. Now I just buy the molded plastic hopper legs that look exactly like hopper legs. So fly tying's evolved quite a bit. I still will tie eggs with yarn and glue, but if I'm in a hurry and I'm taking my little boys out, want to give them a good experience, I'm just going to tie up a bunch of these gummy eggs because they're quick, they're easy, and you can't get any better at imitating than these. So what I like to do is I like to coat my thread where the egg's going to be, or coat the hook with thread where the egg's going to be. And what this does is it just helps the egg stay on the hook tight and not flop around. They are not as strong as like a glue egg, and so if I'm tying these, I'll tie twice as many as I think we'll need, because they definitely don't hold up as good as a normal glue egg or yarn egg. Okay, so all I've done is I've coated that with thread, and I usually use red or orange. I like to do red just because it kind of gives it a little bit of a kind of a blood look. Okay, then what you do is you can see they're attached right here with just a little tab, and so I'll cut the tab off, and now I've got just my egg. And sometimes I'll miss a spot, and you just kind of keep trimming on it until you get all the tab off. So now I will actually pull it out of the vise, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook it the top quarter. I don't go right down the middle. I go about a quarter of the way down. Hopefully you can see that. And just simply hook that egg to right there. And then what I do I've tried it with a lot of different types of glues. I tried it with UV glue. It was a disaster. It does not work. And so I just get a little bit of super glue and I just dab it over my thread. And then I pull this egg up and over. And that is it. And so the reason why you just go a quarter of the way up is you want most of your egg on top, because if most, or even half the eggs on the bottom, you don't got much of a gap to hook the fish. So I like to keep that egg kind of up on top, so there's plenty of gap to hook the fish. This particular gummy egg is the 6mm. See it right there? And with the 6mm egg, I will use a size 14 hook most of the time. If I have to go down to 16, I will. The size 16s actually look better, but you don't get as good of hookups with that. So a size 14 is about a good balance to have good hookups and still look good and keep your proportions with your hook. So this one, like I say, it's got a little bit of red in it. I've always felt that big trout, they'll key in on that red color, and it's always good to have a little bit of red in your flies. So this is our otter soft egg and the Rivers Wild gummy egg and the how-to video of how to tie it. So I'm going to put some pictures up on this video of some of the big trout we caught in bait fishing waters while fly fishing with strike indicators with these little gummy eggs. I am fishing it. I always use a strike indicator, because when they're eating an egg, I find a lot of times my strike indicator won't even go under. Some of the strike indicators we've used, I like these little Pulsa ones. They're super cheap and they just pinch on your leader. And I whatever depth I'm fishing, I want this egg almost all the way on the bottom, but as the indicator drifts in the wind and the ripple, I want that egg to just kind of bounce along the bottom with the wind. And so these little Pulsa indicators work really well. I'm trying to find another one we like. There they are. They're called the Thingamabobber. These are also really good indicators to use. The problem I found with these is when the fish eat the egg, sometimes the bite is so soft that it won't actually pull this under, whereas these little Pulsa indicators, if I just put one on with my egg, almost always it'll dip under the water. These, they'll just kind of flutter, and you'll kind of see the ripple. If there's no wind, you'll just see that indicator ripple, and you got to set the hook. Eggs, I've caught a lot of fish with these eggs, and if I'm not catching anything, I'll resort to one of these little gummy eggs, and usually I can get something to bite it. But I've got to remember that they bite very, very soft when they take these eggs. Rarely do they yank the indicator under. So hopefully that helps you guys as you're out fishing with these little gummy eggs, and I highly recommend you try them. They're awesome. So thank you for watching. Aaron at the Fly Desk.